On the previous episode of the ZX2 build, I put on a newer front bumper and got my carbon fiber hood painted. I finished up the engine build and got ready to start the motor, only to find an electrical issue. After fixing the electrical issue, the SVT Focus motor started right up and purred like a kitten. Like most people, I have a busy life. I don't have much time to work on this car, so it sits until I can come up with a good excuse to work on it again. The excuse is usually that there's a track day coming up, and that's the excuse this time. So let's get started working on this car to get it ready for a track day. Just because the engine is running now doesn't mean that it's ready for the track. When the motor blew up at the track, it managed to get the coolant temperature up to 309 degrees, which swelled up the radiator. The radiator still works, but I'm going to change it out for a Koyorad radiator just to be safe. Since I relocated the radiator for the turbo build a few years ago, I decided to use an oversized Mark III Supra radiator to keep coolant temps as low as possible. Koyorad is one of the sponsors for this car, and we're very thankful to have them on board. But they're not the only sponsor that we have. I think it's finally time to put a livery on the car before the next track day. So I'm currently towing the Escort up about 3 hours north of where I live to a friend's place who runs a vinyl wrapping company. He's going to actually put what's called a livery on the side of the car. It's basically like a graphic design with sponsored decals and whatnot. Companies that have helped me out with parts on that car and on that build will be on the side so I can support them. We're going to put a very basic design onto the side of the car, just enough to add a little bit of flair without going over the top. This is my friend Brandon. Brandon and his brother vinyl wrap cars for fun, and they're very good at it. Brandon did a great job. Now I can support my sponsors more and look more like a proper track car. The next step, and arguably one of the most important, is to put coilovers on the car. Until now, I've been running on some lowering springs on factory struts. Not a good combination. The reason I've been putting off coilovers for so long is because there's not many companies that make coilovers for a Ford Escort. But thankfully, BC Racing makes coilovers for a Mazda 323 GTX, which just happens to be the same chassis as my Ford Escort. Now these coilovers are adjustable in a number of different ways. You can adjust the dampening on the top there. It's got 30-way different adjustable clicks to this. Also, you've got ride height, which you're going to adjust this bottom collar, and then the bottom of this whole assembly spins so that you don't change the preset on the strut and springs. I'm going to leave them where they are, so all I need to worry about is these ride height adjustment here, and then I'll worry about the damping. Once it's actually on the car, I can kind of start dialing it in based on how it feels on the road. So that's it. Just wanted to let you guys know that, just in case you're wondering. All right, yeah, let's put them on. These BC BR Coilovers are a direct bolt-on. However, I have some custom CNC'd camber and caster plates that I want to put onto the top of these coilovers to give more adjustability and more caster. I opted for the pillow ball mounts on these coilovers, which makes top hat replacement quite simple.
I'm putting my Koenig wheels back on for an alignment, but I really don't like the look of these on this car. I think it might be time to go back to TE37s. I had Volk TE37s on the car before, and I foolishly sold them. I've regretted that, so now I've bought some more, but this time in a lovely bronze finish.
Jeff is here. You remember Jeff? I basically can't work on the ZX2 without Jeff. So I'm flown him in. He lives in Colorado, if you don't know. He used to have a ZX2. I will show you that now. It's rad. It made more horsepower than this did. Maybe I'll make more now because I'm at a lower altitude than he is, and I'm running on his old turbo, so yeah. Probably around the 300, 350 wheel horsepower range. We've put the BC coilovers on. I'm very excited for that. That is going to absolutely change this car. The track got the alignment kind of roughly dialed in. Gonna tweak it a little bit more, but for the most part, it's where I want it. We got the hood put on that you saw in the last episode. This is the carbon fiber hood. It's probably 10 pounds lighter than the older hood, so that's nice. Got the 03 front bumper on as well, going with a little bit of a different look.
Mainly going to be working on making sure the tune is exactly where we need it to be, so we don't blow up the new engine.
That would be good. Yeah, so we're putting more fail-safes in this time. Last time the engine blew up because of a clogged fuel injector. That is not going to happen this time because our fuel injectors are not clogged. We have a fuel filter in line. We made sure all the fuel lines are clean, but also we're going to be running an EGT gauge this time, so we'll know exhaust gas temperatures. If they start to get high, we'll know there's an issue. Also running oil temperature, which we were not running before. That would be another indicator that something's gone wrong. And Jeff, you're also going to put a fail-safe in for the coolant temperature, is that right?
Right, since the last time we failed, it got really, really hot before it blew up.
Like over 300 degrees, the coolant temperature.
At this point, we're pretty much going to get it to start pulling back power at about 240, and if it goes over 250, it's just going to shut off.
Yeah, which will be good because that'll save the engine. But yeah, so we're going to work on dialing in the tune, which is the most important thing for the track, and also just making sure it's safe. So cleaning up things more, tidying up things. I'm going to tape the wheel weights onto the wheels and stuff like that, just make sure the wheel weights don't fall off, changing out the brake pads, brake fluid, all that kind of standard stuff, just to make sure that the car is going to be safe at the track. For the time being, the turbo, I've just left it exposed just for, you know, diagnostic purposes as I'm putting everything together. But that is not good long term because obviously stuff can get into the impellers, which is not good for the turbo. So I'm going to go ahead and throw an intake onto that. Probably just a short pipe to push it out over here, then a little air filter over here. Should be good to protect the turbo.
I'm replacing the brake pads with the same Hawk DTC60 pads that I got from MA Performance. My previous pads were almost worn down, so it's important to replace these unless I want to lose brakes at the track like I've done before. It's also important to change out the oil frequently when you're breaking in a new engine.
Alright, so we are here at beautiful Summit Point Motorsports Park, and we've got the Escort here with me. Believe it or not, we actually made it. I still can't believe it. The car seems to be running really well, running about 14 PSI, estimating 280 wheel horsepower, estimating 2,200 pounds. It's running strong, it's running reliable, and it shouldn't blow up. So the goal for this weekend is to kind of iron out any issues the car might have, dial in the suspension a little bit. Because it's a brand new setup suspension-wise and engine-wise, there's a lot of different changes, so I kind of want to make sure I settle in, feel comfortable with them, make sure I get the damping set right with the coilovers. I'm running a staggered setup, so I've got two 35/40 17s in the front and two 15/45 in the rear. Should be a pretty good setup given that it's a front-wheel drive car. So hopefully we have a nice neutral steer, but we'll find out today because this is the first time it's going out on track with the new engine. Well, this is my first session out.
This first session is also paired up with time attack, so there's gonna be a lot of other really fast guys out there on track with me. Really just hope I don't get into their ways, because I can mess up their time if I get in their way. Gonna coast it, get it ready to load up on the trailer. That was quick. One lap, there we go. Project cars. Well, sometimes it doesn't always go as planned. This is kind of one of those weekends, but it's okay, because it would have happened at another event and I would have been really bummed. So the whole point of coming to this was a shakedown, and we shook the car down, that's for sure. The oil temperature got up to 270 degrees. The coolant was fine. Coolant was like 205, 210, so that wasn't too much of an issue. Basically, what started happening right about turn 6, turn 7, I felt a kind of reduction in power. Heard a little bit of weird kind of knocking sound, so kind of backed off a little bit, brought it in, and sure enough, I'm pretty sure it's the rod bearings, maybe the main bearings, which is a fixable thing. Bearings are not that expensive, relatively speaking. The engine still starts, it runs, everything just fine, but it doesn't sound great, and I don't want to keep driving this track day if it doesn't sound great. I don't want to hurt the engine, so yeah, we're gonna call it there. Glad that I was able to give it a little bit of a shakedown. Glad I was able to kind of try things out. Suspension felt great, tires felt great, the alignment was awesome. The car's getting pretty quick compared to where it was when we first took it to the track to now. It's a lot quicker than it was before. It feels a lot more planted, it feels a lot more dialed. The brakes feel amazing. Honestly, everything's pretty good. Just gotta get the power plant sorted out, gotta sort out reliability. With any fresh build, there's a lot of teething pains, a lot of things you kind of have to iron out. I knew I was gonna have some teething pains, which is why we decided to come here this weekend to test it out. So yeah, we'll just keep pushing forward and switch those bearings out, come back to another track day and kind of see where the next weak point is. Coilovers felt great, tires felt great, the wheels look awesome. The Koyorad radiator kept temps really low. Even when the oil temperature was 270 degrees, my coolant temps were 210. It's pretty daggone fast on track. I'd say it's faster than the average car, at an HPDE event on track. Maybe we'll time attack it one day, but right now we're still kind of ironing out some kinks. So, we'll go home now and take the oil pan off and see what's up. But I think that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Yeah, it's time to go home and fix it, which you'll see in the next episode. Thanks for watching.
It looks like I need to move to Alaska because I am mining for gold here. We have bearing material in the pan.